Well, hello everyone, this is Joe Drums coming to you. I hope everybody out there is doing great. As usual, I'm doing awesome. We've got our new book. We're doing Drums 2, Songbook 2. We're going to be doing the first song out of there called All Day and All Night by the Kinks. And this is a 2-page song in this particular book. And I'm going to go through step by step and explain how to play this song. And then you'll see a performance of me doing it like the, in the book. So if you guys remember, if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know if there's anything you need, for me to answer. I will definitely do that for you. All right, let's start off. We're going to start off on the first page here. Let's see. This is actually page in the book. I just got a copy of it there. But page 3 and page 4, okay? So we're going to reference that as page 3 and page 4 if you have this book. Again, it's the Drums 2, Songbook 2, Fast Track Drum Method. And it's going to go through, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different tunes. We'll go over those one by one as we go through this series. This is the now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th book, and there's actually one more to the collection, and that I'll be getting into once this Drums 2 Songbook 2 has been completed. But let's start off at the very beginning. So we're on page 3. There's first couple measures. We have a eighth rest, and then a whole rest, and then a half rest, and then we start with the flam on beat 4. So I kind of count out 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, flam. Then we go into the first beat, and actually the beat is actually a 2-measure phrase. Sometimes songs have where you're just playing one beat over and over. This has 2 different separate beats, and then they repeat after that. So the first beat with the crash is going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4. The second measure is 1 and 2 and 3, and then we have kind of a flam at the end as a kind of like a small little fill. But the beat's going to be going on throughout the rest of this as we continue. I'll do it again. So it starts off with the flam, 1, 2, 3, flam, 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then we're going to go do that other beat, 1 and 2 and 3. We'll stop with the bass and hi-hat and then do the flam. So again, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. All right, we jump down to the second line. This is where the verse starts. The singing starts, going on. And I crash, and I do that same beat as we're going to go through now. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and here's the biggest fill so far on the page. It's going to go 3 and a 4 and a. And the bass drum hits the first beat of 3, and then you just do the snare drum. 3 and a 4 and a, and then we crash and we go to the ride cymbal, and this is the pre-chorus. So we're going to play the crash and still continuing to play those beats. But the second beat on this one during the pre-chorus has a snare fill, which is built into the beat. So it's going to start off with the first crash. And then the last line on page 3 is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, we're going to go do that like a little fill. Then the beat comes back again. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. And now we have another small little fill and 4 and. And now we're heading into the chorus. So I'll play that whole pre-chorus again. Here's how it sounds. 1, 2, ready, crash. Alright, so I did the first measure off the chorus. We go on to page 4. At the top of page 4, we still continue that triplet beat. Not triplet, but 3 notes in along with the ride cymbal. So it's kind of like a little mini fill at the end. So here's how that goes. I'll start the chorus again with the crash. Alright, we did the rest of the chorus, and then I went into ending 1. So as I played that beat, right when ending 1 hits, you'll see how it has the bracket at the top and it has the number 1. And right next to it is ending 2. So ending 1, we're going to play that real, small kind of version of it. Bass, 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 snare, bass, bass, and slam. From there, we're going to go back to page 3. We're going to hit the second line because the double bar, double dot. And you'll notice it says the next verse. So we'll play that whole thing again. I'll start off with the crash. We'll continue into the pre-chorus and go back to the second page. And when we hit up to the first ending, we're going to jump over to the second ending. I'll stop there. But here's how it starts. This is the second verse. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, crash. Now, the second page 4, we're going to still continue to the first ending, but we're going to jump over to the second ending. Here we go. First line on page 2 or page 4. Ready, go. Now we jump over to ending 2. That still continues that last beat that we just got done playing, which is like the very beginning, which is 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Now we're going to do another little, kind of actually a pretty big fill here, and this is going to lead us into the guitar solo. So we're going to crash, and then a flam, and then 2 bass drums, and then an extra little snare before the flam again on 4. And so it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Second measure does the same kind of thing. 1, and 2, and 3, and then it just goes 4. Then the third measure, we go crash again. Another snare before the flam. Bass, bass, snare, flam, bass, bass. And then snare, snare, snare. You can do that with one hand or two. And then when we do the floor tom, we're going to go bass, snare, 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 snare drum and floor tom together. And 3 and 4 and. Okay, I'm going to play that whole thing again. So start with the crash on page 4, line 3. This is just heading into the guitar solo section. So this big long fill. Okay, now we're heading in back to the ride cymbal on the guitar solo. Still continuing to play that beat with the 3 snare drums and rides together. It's going to go back, and then we're going to do a fill at the end of it. So let me play the guitar solo section. We're going to start with the crash again. This is line 4 or page 4. Here we go at the guitar solo. And from right there, you notice above it says DSL Coda, and we always remember what that means. Look for the fancy S, and then look for the coda sign. So if we jump back to page 3, at the very top of page 3, the very first line, you'll notice the intro right before the flam. There's a flam there, and then right after it, there's our fancy S, and that's where they want us to start, is with that crash again. So we're going to crash same like we started. Crash, and we're back to, we're back on the hi-hat too, I wanted to mention. Crash, bass, snare, 1 and 2 and 3, flam, and then we crash again on the second line, because there's the crash again. We play that, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. All right, we jump over to page 4. We're at the very top again. And this time, remember, we're looking after the fancy S. We gotta look for the coda. So here's the first line: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice we stop there because we have to go down to the last line because it says coda. And there's the coda down at the very last line on page 4. We're going to continue the beat. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the last two measures, we're going to do a crash with the bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. Okay, I'll play that last line again. Alright, as you can see, that's pretty much the whole song in a nutshell. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to drop me a line below, and I'll answer as many questions as we need to. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, this is the Drums 2 Songbook 2 book. I urge you to get this series. It's a very good way to learn and kind of start off learning how to read music. I have all my other videos you can check back. I have a whole catalog of all the different songs and the different exercises that are in all of these books. So check them out. And I'm the only one on the internet that's doing this right now, so you can only find the demonstrations of doing what's in these books by me alone, JOEDRUMS2112. And I hope you guys, don't forget to please like and subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll always be notified for when my next video comes out. And you'll be right in the loop with everything else that I'm doing book-wise or any drum thing. All right? So you guys take care. This is Joe Drums signing off. I'll talk to you on the next video. Until then, you guys take care. Keep rocking. Let's check out this song. Here we go.